welcome to the Sam and Ray podcast. I'm Sam.
And I'm Ray.
And how was your Valentine's Day weekend, Raymond?
Valentine's weekend was fun. We had fun.
We did have fun. We went to Knott's Berry Farm without the kids. We went to the beach without the kids. We went to dinner without the kids. It's so nice when you don't have the kids. We love our children. Don't get us wrong, but sometimes being without them is just so nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's quiet because we don't even have to speak to each other, and it's just so relaxing.
You know what was weird? The fact that we got on everything within like the first 2 hours.
Okay, Knott's Berry Farm, get it together. At least give us a heads up that the majority of your rides are closed. We got on 3 rides, and when we got on Supreme Scream is when we noticed that the rest of the like adult rides were closed because we were facing like all the construction.
Oh, yeah.
Everything was closed down.
Yeah.
And I think that's why all of the rides had the longest wait times because there was nothing else to get on.
I'm glad we got on the Silver Bullet though. The
Silver Bullet was tight.
Was cool.
Now, I think I've said this before. As a bigger person, when you go to like an amusement park, it's kind of nerve-wracking.
You're not
because
big,
you never
thick.
know if it's gonna fit. If you're gonna fit in there. Sometimes if it like goes over your shoulders, you're afraid your boobs aren't gonna allow the actual thing to like close correctly because it has to have that little light that turns on. That, or if you have a bigger bottom and you have to squeeze in and then the thing lifts from the bottom, that's the part that sucks.
Well, I look and I like and I'm not complaining, so I'm not tripping about it.
Everything was going so well.
It was cool.
It was cool. It was going well until Sunday night.
Oh, well, yeah, Sunday night. Well, shout out to Rihanna. That was dope.
Okay. Sunday night. Oh my God. That was such a good performance. I was like, oh my God, she's pregnant. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for her. Congratulations, Rihanna. She did such a good job. I think people were complaining like, oh, it wasn't enough. What do you want her to do?
Yeah.
What the fuck do you want?
You know what was crazy is when you pointed out that she was pregnant, and I was like, she's not pregnant. And you're like, yeah, she is. I was like, nah, maybe that's just like some of the excess from when she had the other baby. But then, like in my head, I was like, wait, how old is that kid now?
Yeah, the baby is older. I mean, he's not a lot older, but
enough. There's adequate time for her to get pregnant.
Yeah,
again.
Exactly.
But man,
back-to-back babies.
I mean, and how are people complaining when she's pregnant?
Yeah,
I was once that discovery was made, I was like, why is she that fucking high in the air,
okay,
bro?
that's what I was gonna say too. Like, you're complaining, but do you see how high up she is and she's pregnant?
That was crazy.
Like, that's enough. Okay, you guys need to chill. And then already know the memes start right after the game.
Oh yeah,
they were saying those are sperms. The people dancing were
so
sperms.
Fucking retarded.
So stupid.
The whole Illuminati nonsense. It's like,
you know what? Don't bring her into the Illuminati. If you say it about Beyonce, yeah, I'll be like, yeah, she's part of that. She's part of that shit. I know she is.
Well,
but Rihanna, it's like, no.
But here's
no,
where
she's not.
Here's where your fault lies. If you're gonna say that, you know she's tied to Rock Nation, which is Jay-Z's.
Yeah, but you also know I don't care. Rihanna is a princess. Okay, leave her alone.
I'm just saying, make it make sense.
So everything was going good until I have a habit of locking my car at night before I go to bed.
Even if you don't use it.
Even if I haven't used my car that day, which I hadn't used my car since Friday night.
Or Saturday morning when you want to go get the car seat out the car.
Oh, yes. So I have a habit of locking my car. And Saturday when we got home, I locked it because that's my thing. I lock it. I hear the horn. I press it about 30 times. Sunday night, I'm doing the same routine and my alarm's not going off. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, maybe I've pressed it so many times it doesn't work anymore. I go outside and some motherfucker had the audacity to break into my car. They popped the lock on the driver's side and they ripped out the fucking ignition to attempt to maybe even steal the car. But they weren't fucking smart enough to take the entire thing. So now my car's just sitting there. And there's blood on, I swear, I have like, even talking about it, I need to go wash my hands. Like there's blood on things and I'm just like, you fucking assholes. So now I'm without a car.
Well, for now. But
so I've had to cancel plans thanks to you.
After watching that was like, looking at like information on that. Apparently from the insurance. Kia and Hyundai are like amongst some of the most notable cars to be broken into now, which is a trip. Now, I'm not going to put out any more information just in case the wrong person's listening to this, but it's just, it fucking sucks, man. Like, you have no other fucking thing to do. And it could have been Saturday morning, Sunday night. It could have been at any point in the day, really. But I've noticed it's like, we got halfway crooks in this fucking area. Like, they think they really know what the fuck they're doing, you know? And it's just like, you didn't even finish the job, bro. You know, and I'm not praising or condoning anything like that, but it's just like, I started thinking back, like, our conversation with the cop, and I was like, you know what's crazy is, so when I had the truck, I had the S10, remember someone broke my fucking window.
Oh, that's right.
But that's all they did. They just drove by, fucking broke my window. And then, 2 years ago, I had that Acura Integra. It was nice. It was lowered, black. Everything was complete on it.
And in broad daylight. They go and they fucking jack my fucking car. And then they broke into your sister's car when it was parked here. And I think it's because of how our house is faced.
You know what? I think it's the last house in general.
I don't think the way it's faced, like.
But we're still on a main street, so it's not like you're expecting the neighbor behind that wall to fucking be like, hey, stop. It's like, just in general, we're the last fucking house.
Even though the creeper who is on the side of us once told me, I'm here all day and I watch. I know who's supposed to be here. Well, where were you, sir, when they were doing all these things?
And then when you watch or you read things and they tell you, oh, like, park your car in a well-lit area. Like, your car was parked right underneath the fucking street light. So how much lit do you need it to fucking be? How much do
you need it to be?
So that fucking sucks. Yeah. But yeah, the audacity.
I was so sad. Sunday night, or Monday morning, I was just in a funk. Yesterday, I was in a funk, and it just.
I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. The fortunate part about it, though, is they didn't fucking take your car, and that's the part you got to look at. Like, hey, they didn't fucking take it. So that means
true. So because they couldn't finish the job, what they did was they went through my middle console and just stole random shit. They took my snacks, guys, because they couldn't get anything else. They stole my snacks from the trunk. I hope it gives you explosive diarrhea, because those weren't for you. Those are not for you. Okay, they were for work.
But assholes. I mean, shit. This is. If you start breaking down the days, it's funny all the shit that we end up like encountering, right? Like when we were at Knott's and that dude, that guy, the audacity of that motherfucker.
Okay, so
this dude is over here fucking. We're standing. So if anyone who goes to Knott's and they know, like, if you go early, they don't let you in right away. Like, so they'll let you into the park, but they don't let you access past a certain point. So you have to wait for the specific time that they'll open up and let everybody in, which is usually after, I think, the national anthem, right? Yeah. So we're waiting, and we people watch. We like to fucking lurk and just be like, that was funny, or oh shit, look at that, look at over there. So Samantha and I start looking over, and we both, like, at the same time look at this dad, and he's talking to one guy, and then he moves a little closer to a stroller, which the stroller belongs to him, so that's not the ironic part of the story. But he's standing behind the stroller, which is in front of us, which means we're right behind him. And we're watching this dude, and he's scratching the shit out of his fucking balls. And we're like, wow, like, shower next time, bro.
At it, man, I guess.
That's not even the fucking uncomfortable part about it. The uncomfortable part about it is after he scratched his nuts.
For about a good 5 minutes.
He walks over to the front of the stroller and places his nut scratching fucking hand on top of his little toddler child's fucking head.
And he goes, "Are you excited?" I was like, probably not anymore that his head smells like balls. Like,
and you know what's dumb? Like, so, and people be like, well, it's not like he had his hands in his pants. I don't give a fuck if your hands are in your pants, out your pants. Don't touch your fucking nuts and put your hand on someone's, like, let alone your kid, like anybody in general. Like, that's like me walking by, wiping my fucking nuts and then putting it on top of your face. I'm like,
yeah,
hey.
But do you want to know this asshole all day was like pretending to scratch his balls and then would rub it on my face. I'm like, will you fucking stop? And then we saw them at the popcorn cart, And I was like, Lord Jesus, please have washed your hands before you reach into that popcorn that you're going to share.
I want that soda. You just take what you want and get the fuck out of here, bro.
Oh
take
my
what
God.
you want and get the fuck out of here.
The audacity.
I'm here fucking
the audacity of people rubbing your
nuts.
balls on your kid's head.
Fucking weirdo. It's my kid. What does it matter? It matters. Like, your kid's all like,
if I would have seen you do that, oh no. His wife was, you know what? Both him and his wife were not paying attention to their kid.
No, not at all. That's the crazy part. They
literally left their stroller.
They were
like I thought it belonged to somebody else for a while. They left the stroller. They were next to it, but it looked like they were just random strangers standing next to a stroller, like waiting to get in. But they were like on their phone, not even looking up. And I was like, someone could have just taken these kids and you would have never noticed. Ever.
I think that's why we did notice that he was scratching his balls, because like they were both standing probably like a solid like 2-3 feet away from the stroller. The mom never fucking looked up at all.
She never looked up.
Like not until he got the stroller to push it, and then she was just like, "Oh, we're moving now."
Oh,
like,
okay. Oh, I forgot.
I understand being busy with work.
Yeah.
Right. Especially like if you own your own business or however it may be. I understand being busy at work, but don't pull up to a public place like that with your family and not fucking pay attention, because then you're gonna be the first person on the fucking news crying.
I was watching, and I took my eyes off of them for a second.
Why do you sound like that TikTok from like 2020?
What was that?
where the mom combs the hair.
And she's pulling their hair.
And she's like,
yeah.
I don't know why your voice does like this. This boomerang thing.
But just like the fucking people, dude.
But it was, you know what? Overall, besides that happening, it was a good weekend. I had fun. It was cool. It was cool seeing weird shit like that. But just the fact that we were able to just kind of kick it. Like, again,
it was really nice.
We love our children, but so here's the funny thing. Don't get mad.
Oh, man.
When we go to Knott's, so any other day, right? Any other day, my wife will say, it's like I have 3 fucking children, right? Any other day. Which I'm not gonna...
Every day, it's like I have 3 children. Except for when we go to Knott's.
Which I'm not going to lie. I'm like, you know what? I do add some stress to the situations once in a while. Sometimes I'm the one creating it.
Yes.
But you know what? That's why the kids have fun with us. Anyways, when we go to Knott's, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the oldest child. I'm the one that has to corral 3 fucking children. It's always been this way, even when Josh was little. Fucking 11 years here. I've always been, I'm gonna mute you because I feel interruptions coming through. Let me speak, okay? I'm the one who's usually with the child, the youngest or the smallest, right? So even like when it was Josh and Bella, like I would kick it with Bella and we'd be like in the little kids section, or it'd be with Josh. I'd be like, all right, cool, you go do your thing and I'll stay with Josh here. But now Josh is older, and for any of you who know our family, our son is pretty tall for an 11-year-old. So he's not like an average 11-year-old short kid or anything like that. Like he's pretty fucking tall. Like he's almost as tall as some of my clients at the shop. But, excuse me, I usually take Kara to Camp Snoopy. Just let her hang out, do her thing. And because Kara's small, she's there. Josh is taller. So it's like, hey, I'm going to go. Samantha's idea is, hey, I'm going to go on the rides with Josh because he's taller now. Mind you, he's still 10, 11 years old. So he still has the kid's mindset of, I don't want to get on that shit. It's too fucking big. But it's like, bro, you're almost 6 feet tall. You know,
some of the smaller rides have already banned you. You can't even get on it anymore.
Like age-wise, you're good. Height-wise, you're not out of there, bro. You're not going to fit. You're not going to be comfortable. So Samantha goes, and she likes to get on the bigger rides, which is fine. And I want to say, like, every time that we've gone, and I'm with Kara, and she's having the time of her life. You guys come back and you meet us. I'm like, so what'd you get on? Nothing. This boy didn't want to get on this and that. And so meanwhile, he's like, well, I didn't want to get on. It was kind of fucking scary, or the line was too long. Like our son is very particular. Like he doesn't like too much of certain things. And it's just like, I understand. If I see a long ass line somewhere, it's like, yo, next time we have a whole fucking year to be here. Next time. But this woman, she has the audacity to have a fucking attitude the rest of the day because she couldn't get on the
You
ride.
want to know why? You want to know why? I've waited 11 years for someone to finally get on rides with me. Okay. And I had always gone on the rides with him. I would get on the fucking boat. I would get on the fucking bus. I would wait in lines with him to get on the mailbox 40 times. Okay. 11 years. Now he's too tall to get on them. And I was like, finally, thank God I have somebody to get on rides with. I'm excited. Don't speak. Okay.
Go ahead.
Don't say
Go
anything.
Go ahead.
Then this fool, my son, decides, oh, I'm gonna read into all the freaking YouTube and TikTok. He's like, oh, didn't you hear about this conspiracy theory? Oh, girl, I don't want to die, girl. I'm like, oh,
okay,
my
but who
God.
does he get that from?
Not from me.
Oh, that is a lie. This kid got into watching conspiracies and
yeah.
scary shit because his mom, for some
But
reason.
I didn't say, hey, take them for 100% to be true.
But here's where you mess up. You mess up thinking that just because he's taller now, you didn't wait 11 years. You waited till he was tall enough.
Yeah.
Mind you, the maturity and the mindset isn't as tall as his height in physical form.
But the girl, I'm waiting on that girl. That girl is
Oh, yeah, she's
excited.
ready to
She
go.
was like, I'm ready. I'm ready. And
I
I,
wanna
was
go on
like,
this
I
one.
know, girl, if I could only put you in some wedges and then you'd be tall enough, I'd do it. But
Go-
that's probably not safe.
Go buy her some platform chucks or something.
Remember that little boy? There was a couple years ago we had
Oh.
gone to
I think
Knott's Berry Farm.
last time we went, that was when we went with.
No, this was years ago.
No. I'm saying last time, but I meant like that time we went. It was actually with, I think when we went with your mom and
Yeah,
Cassandra.
Sandy. So this is when they came out with the Skechers wedges for the little girls, and they were like all sparkly and fucking tall as shit. This little boy, his mom and dad had him wear wedges, so that he was tall enough to get on these rides. And I was like, that's fucking genius. But then also, he could have flown out.
Yeah, that's where.
Yeah.
But see, logically, so you just had that thought process and you didn't think logically because you were excited about getting on a ride.
Yeah.
That's the part where I'm trying.
We're done waiting for you to grow.
That's the part where I'm telling you, like, it's
Listen,
like having
if
3
anybody
children.
has a Knott's Berry Farm pass that likes to get on rides, call me. Call me. I'll leave the kids with Ray in the little kid section, and me and you can just go and get sick on rides all day.
And so I explained this to you. We had that conversation while we were like mid ride. Like not that I don't like the rides, they're fun, but I don't get it. Like, so everyone's like fucking screaming and fucking making all this noise and shit. I don't get that. And a lot of people ask like, well, why not?
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Mr. Cool. Why not?
It's not Mr. Cool, but it's fucking logic, bro. I used to ride a motorcycle. So hitting like 90 to 100 on a fucking freeway with a bunch of cars passing by, that's probably about as fucking like, what is it, adrenaline rush as possible.
Lottie fucking dog.
I'm just saying, like, so like even when we got on Silver Bullet, I was like, oh, this is dope. And the kid next to me, he's fucking losing his shit.
Well, the kid next to you is also like 13.
And no matter, he was taller than Josh.
Okay,
so
but
if I use your logic, if
excited.
If I use your
I
logic,
know what my thing is. He's 13. He's not going to be anywhere riding a damn motorcycle in between traffic on a freeway.
That's not true. Because growing up, all my neighbors that were my age, they were all on fucking motorcycles.
Whatever.
That's what happens when you grow up.
And I wasn't screaming on Silver Bullet.
No, I didn't say you were screaming. I said homeboy was like doing this shit. But I look over you and you're like, like you're fucking. I'm like, you don't close your mouth. Everything's gonna dry up inside.
Yeah, fly's gonna fly in there. Just had the biggest smile on my face because finally I got on a fucking ride.
But it was cool, and I was like, ooh, that twisted. Oh, that turned. Oh, we're upside down now. It was cool. But I don't feel like those rides don't get me as excited as the old school rides. The old school rides, those ones are like, oh, this is
like the ones that like, oh, this could fall apart at any minute.
Because like on the boardwalk where that dude was spinning us.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay, and it's just like we're fucking tilted like 45
you're
degrees,
gonna fly out of that
and
shit.
that shit's just fucking spinning. It's just like, all right, my hand could touch this fucking floor right now. Like that's the type of shit that gets the adrenaline going.
True.
Flipping upside down and maybe if it was going a little bit faster. What was that ride that he said that he was like, oh,
I don't know, somewhere in Japan.
Japan, it's like a ride that goes 150 miles an hour.
Yeah, and I've already booked our plane tickets.
Man,
to Japan
now
just
see
to ride that.
that's the type of ride I'd be like, all right, let's hit it.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I remember one time on the bike, Actually, right here around the corner. Right besides that one time, the fucking chick fucking cut me off and I had to lay it down. But there was one time I was on Vineyard and I was gonna turn left on the 4th Street. So I was already like in that turning lane, and this dude comes out of the Stater's parking lot. Mind you, there's a big rig on my right side on the straight lane. And the dude, so I'm already there. On my right, there's the big rig. You know, motorcycles aren't high, so like you're pretty fucking leveled with like the bottom of a big rig. So I'm like, all of a sudden, this fucking dude comes out the fucking Stater parking Brothers lot. Parking lot, whatever. Anyways, he comes out of there, and instead of like being cool about it, he tried to like wedge himself into the lane and like almost like pushing me out the way. So when he did it, he fucking turns into the lane, but at the same time like puts me between him and the fucking big rig, and I'm looking over like, what the fuck? So I hit his fucking window, and he must have got fucking scared after I did that. He ended up making the turn, but made the turn and went right back into the parking. I'm like, bro, what part of like paying attention did you not get that there's somebody in the fucking lane already, whether it's a car or not? Like, stay behind me. Like, don't fucking try to squeeze yourself in.
People fucking suck.
And I get the logic, because a lot of people are like, oh, motorcycle.
No, but even if I saw a motorcycle, I wouldn't try and squeeze myself in a regular car. You know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is people get upset with people on motorcycles because technically, and listen, ladies and gentlemen, you should listen to this. People on motorcycles have more of a right of way than people in a regular car. Meaning, when you're on the freeway, if you see a motorcycle splitting the lane, don't be salty. Just scoot the fuck over so that he can get by, because he technically has that right of way to do that. Yeah. Don't be all pissed because you gotta fucking sit in traffic. You know what I mean? Like, that's just legally, motorcycles are allowed to do that. There's even like a specific ratio that you're supposed to drive. Like, if you're on a motorcycle and you're gonna split lanes, it's like, I forgot what the percentage is. Like, I think it's like 60 or 8, somewhere between 60 and 80% of what the speed limit is that our people are driving. So if everybody's driving like 70 and you're splitting the lane, you got to be splitting the lane just like right under that. It's weird, but they have the right of way is what I'm saying. So it's like, I've seen people try to cut motorcycles off, and it's just like, why? Because you're mad that they can go and not have to sit in traffic. It doesn't make any sense, bro.
No, it's because, like I said, people are stupid. People are dumb. This is just like driving in general. I turn into, have you ever seen like Goofy have road rage? That's me. If you guys have ever seen like the old Disney cartoons where Goofy has like complete road rage, that's me. And it's not because like, oh, like I want to like cut someone off. No, I don't. I'm driving normally, and people have the audacity to like fucking cut me off or speed past us. Remember the car that we were like, oh shit, he's speeding, and there was a cop right there, and the cop kind of fucking checked him.
Oh yeah.
It was so nice to see. This was on Saturday.
It was on the way back home, right?
It was on the way home. This car was in and out, and it was so nice to see.
I think it was, so for those that don't know, I drive a Mustang. So it's one of those things where it's like, anybody for some reason when they see another sports car, they're like, oh, I gotta show off. Remember, like, even Josh knows this shit where he'll see a car and he's like, oh, dad, here comes one right now. And these dudes, like, they have to rev up, they have to show out. So it was a fucking like an imported car, and we're all driving the fucking normal speed limit. And I think me and you, even because he was behind us, we're like, who the fuck is making all that noise? Yeah. And then he comes around, and once traffic opens up a little bit, we're all still doing the normal like 75, maybe 80. And this opens up, and you just hear the car as loud as it is going nowhere. But he like just fucking whips in and out, and then the fucking cop is like sitting there just like cruising through, and then just comes around. We're like, oh, is he gonna get him? Is he gonna get him? And he just kind of checked him. That was funny, because then he comes around and he just looks at him on the driver's side and then just takes off. And that dude, I think everybody ended up passing him. Yeah. Anyways, an idiot. The audacity of people, man! I'm telling you.
I forgot where I was going with that. because I've had other people like cut me off in traffic and all this stuff, but
Yeah, but you're mean.
you had to throw you. I have a Mustang.
That has nothing. I'm just saying, people had to have.
You know what?
Context,
And
though.
I've even told you though too. People who usually have Mustangs, and I'm not calling my husband a douche,
But even though you're acting like one right now,
the majority of men that I see, like the majority of people who have Mustangs or just cars like
Sports
that in
cars.
general, are douchebags, fucking complete douchebags. And they're always like younger guys that think they're fucking cool, and it's just like, no, you're not.
which I get it. I used to be the same way. My first car was a Mustang, and so I used to like. Well, but see, I never.
Mine was a Nissan Sentra,
But-
and it was
but you
used
didn't-
from a little old lady, and she had racing tires on.
You didn't have the regular Nissan Sentra though. You actually had the sport version.
That's what I'm saying. It was from a little old lady, and I swear when I first got the car.
The entire vehicle.
Yes,
itself,
I
yeah.
know.
You're saying sports tires. Not
No,
the
her tires too, though. They were crazy.
Because your car had the entire sport package.
Okay, but and the person who drove it, let me finish, was a little old lady. You get into the car when I first got it, it smelled like gum. And oh my God, there's a certain perfume.
Like bubble gum or?
No, like mint, like double mint gum. Like and double mint gum, and there was
Like
a
spearmint?
perfume. Yes, there was a perfume as well, and I can't think of it, but I'll definitely. I think it's like
Elizabeth Taylor or something.
It wasn't Elizabeth
It was
Taylor.
a sweet one?
But there was a sweet one. It was a mixture of that, and the smell would never leave. And it was like, did she die in this car? It was so funny.
Which is funny though, because I think once we got rid of that car, it probably just smelled like Bath and Body.
No, it probably smelled like crackers and juice because
Oh,
all of
yeah,
Josh's
Josh.
junk in there.
Yeah, that was a good car though.
That was a good little car.
It was a good
Lasted
car.
me for a while.
Remember you used to shit on my truck, and my truck.
I thought
was,
you literally like shit. I was like, no, I never shit
no
in your truck.
no Amber Heard, relax. You ain't shitting on nothing.
Ay, ay, ay.
That'd be weird. I'm like, hey, I don't like your truck.
Yeah.
Man.
Which truck? The one your
The
dad gave
S10,
you, or
yeah.
the
The S10. You're like,
He used to come pick me up in that thing.
Well, yeah, because after a certain point, your car for some reason just started having like electrical issues.
Yeah.
So it would leave you stranded, and you're like, and you would always say, "I'm not putting my son in that truck.
Yeah.
That thing is this and that." But it's like this truck fucking has saved everybody since my dad bought it, like in 1990, bro. Like we're good, chill. Hop in the truck. That was fun. Those were fun days driving with Josh.
You couldn't even hear in that truck. You'd be talking to me. I'm like, what?
You're not supposed to hear.
What?
You're
It's
not
like,
but it was going places.
not fast, but it was going.
It was going
It
places.
sounded like it was going faster than it was. I was like, we're still on the same street, but it sounded like we should have been somewhere.
Well, that's because what happened one day? After I lowered it, I ended up hitting something and it loosened my exhaust or my muffler. So I was like, "Fuck!" And I could just hear it rattle. So every now and then it'd be like quiet, and then all of a sudden you just hear like a loud ass fucking rattle. So I took it to Ricky over at Redemption, and he was just like, "Dude, what's wrong with your truck?" I was like, "Bro, I think I hit something." So he was just like, "Nah, don't worry about it." He goes underneath the fucking truck, puts his gloves on because it was hot. He grabs the fucking exhaust and just pulls the whole fucking thing out. He goes, "You're good now." So I was literally driving with no fucking catalytic converter, no fucking muffler. Like it was just straight pipe from the fucking engine out. And that's why it was so fucking loud. But I was just like, it opened up better. It got a lot faster than it used to be for sure. But I was like,
No, and then he tried to teach me how to drive the truck, and
and
it's
then you
stick
broke
shift.
it?
And then I was like, I broke it because that's when it broke down.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it ended up just being the starter. But that truck, I'm telling you, that truck was so old, but everything was so good on it. Like my dad went through like practically everything, and it was the things that broke at that time were the things that my dad hadn't gotten to yet. So it's just like the starter broke. Then I redid the whole fuel system in it. So even when I ended up selling it to your cousin,
Wait, you sold it to him?
yeah, the Padillas. Remember,
yeah.
I think it was his nephew or something like that.
Yeah.
He was getting into construction, and I told him, I was like, I don't think this is really like a construction truck, bro, because I had lowered it, so it was like
It was Joshua, no? The blonde?
I don't know who
The
it
blondie?
was. I don't know. but he ended up using it for construction. I don't know if he still has it, but that was a good truck, man. It was fun. I used to love putting Josh in it. I'll put his car seat. He'd have his little shades and his hat on.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna be cruising down the fucking
I
street.
miss him being little.
I would let him shift.
My baby boy.
He still it's funny because he tries to act like
he's all cool.
He's all cool, but it's just like, bro, you know you like your dad's hugs and kisses, bro. Don't act like you're too cool for me.
See, and that's why I get nervous because I do work with children, and like I'm like, are you guys like too cool for me to like read this story to you? And there were kids in 3rd grade, and some of them were like, no, we're not too cool. I like stories, and one little boy was like, yes, and I looked at him and I went, are you though? And I was like, well, maybe I should have said that. Like, stop yourself.
There's always like one person. Like you had a friend that she always had to be the opposite of everything, and that shit was so fucking annoying. Because it'd be like, oh, well, did you tell her? Well, she doesn't like that because of this. This is like, oh my god, like you're really not liking something that could help you because everybody else fucking likes it. Like those type of people
she
that
had to march to the beat of her own drum.
Yeah, that shit's so fucking retarded. Like you miss so many fucking like opportunities and situations in life because
you know what? She's not really like that anymore.
Which is good.
Yeah, I think that was just like a younger mentality.
Look, I don't care. There's older people that do that. There's like people older than us that they'll because everyone else likes something, or like people like if someone doesn't like somebody. And the person they don't like likes the same thing that they like, all of a sudden, because that person, I don't like you, and now you like something that I like, fuck what you like. I don't like it either anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's so fucking petty.
Like this older woman a long time ago.
Audacity, man.
When I was younger and I had my lip ring. Remember we were at Target, and she comes up to me and she was like, oh my God, you are so pretty. And I was like, thank you so much. Like, that was weird. And then she was like, but you'd be even prettier if you didn't have that thing in your lip. And I was just like, okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, it was not me.
Oh my God, it was my piercing. But her son was like, Mom. And he grabbed her and he was like, you can't be telling people stuff like that. And I think I even heard him say, did you take your medication today? And I was just like, what the fuck? Is he trying to embarrass her?
So obviously, like, obviously people still do shit like that now. But I feel like the generation that came before us feel like they're entitled to speak to people a certain way.
Not before us, because before us is Gen X.
I'm
not boomers who do it.
I'm not speaking on any of that Gen X boomers and all that nonsense. I'm just speaking in general. When you speak in decades terms, people that would be old enough to be our parents.
Okay.
Right? I feel like they think that they have the right to speak to people a certain way. Yeah, and it's just like, shut the fuck up. Like
you're gonna find someone who's not gonna appreciate it. And
the whole notion of I'm your elder, so you gotta respect me. But it's just like I was raised with like respect is given where respect is due. So I don't care if you're my elder. If you're being disrespectful to me, I could be just as disrespectful to you because at the end of the day, we're both fucking adults. You don't know what my age number is specifically. So what's your like?
And that's funny because the other day I was thinking like, there's an older woman that I come in contact with, and she's just so rude all the time. Like even if she says something like that isn't meant to be rude, she says it in a way so that it is rude. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it, but I'm thinking like, is there something I give off that makes older people or people who are a little bit older than me, like try and step all over me and give me an attitude? Because this has happened more than once. And I'm thinking like, what do I do to you that makes you feel like you have the right to treat me a certain way?
But is it just with you or is that who she is in general? Because if that's how she is in general, that goes back to...
You know what? I don't know because I'm not hardly around her that much. Like when she's talking to other people, but I notice it when she does it to me. And so I think back like... because she's doing it to me. But that's the thing. I'm not around her enough to see if the way she speaks to me is the same way she speaks to others. Even though I've had other people say like, oh yeah, so yeah, that she does that, whatever. I always question, like, did I do something? I think
that's your own self-sabotage.
That's my own, yeah. I'm like, what did I do? And I always question, like, I was questioning the other day because there's a new crossing guard and she's younger. And me and her, we will speak to each other without speaking to each other.
Mm.
Where I'm like smile at her, and she's like, "Hey,
Samantha's,
bestie," you know.
Samantha's doing gestures.
Yeah, I'm
by the way,
doing gestures, like winking, like "What's up, girl?" Like making a face at her, and she's just like saying like "What's up, girl?" You know, with just facial expressions and a smile. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're besties. I don't even know her name, and I see her every day, and I'm like, "What's up,
But
girl?"
it's just I think it's a genuine respect. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna say that lady doesn't treat you that way. But what I'm going to say is that if she's like that with everybody,
Mm-hmm.
that's just who she is naturally, right? Or well, my point is like the entitlement that people older than us feel that they have of, I could just speak to you a certain way. Because I remember a couple of times my grandma would say stuff, and I'll look at her like, Grandma, don't say that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where it's like, maybe the way they were raised, it was like, when you're a child, say nothing, and as you get older, you can say whatever you want to say. But it's just like times evolve and times become different for people, so you can't just say whatever you want, you know, or feel like, oh, I'm going to say what I want. But if someone does and says the same thing that I say, it's wrong if they do it. It's okay when I do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just like, well, no, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Don't do as I do, do as I say.
Yeah, but it's just like, I'm not even your child, so that you shouldn't be fucking telling me that anyways. But I think too, I've noticed that a lot of older generational people, they don't know how to speak.
Mm-mm.
They don't know how to like actually have communication. I feel like
their communication sucks.
Like
sure.
A lot of people speak in a context of competition. Like if your conversation,
you hit it right on the nose.
Your conversation can go like back and forth, like how you and I we can have a conversation about a subject, right? But it's just like when someone starts putting themselves into that situation, and it's just like, well, how about this? And when I did this, and when I did, like when
when I was your age,
yeah, you know,
when you were my age, there were still dinosaurs roaming the earth.
but it's just like, I don't think they know how to communicate without making something competitive. Where it's just like, that wasn't the point of this conversation, or that wasn't the point of me bringing this up. Like, I was just telling you about my day. I'm not telling you.
Well, my day was better.
Yeah, you know, it's just like, you don't communicate by one-upping. Like, once people start doing that.
Or like, I had such a bad day. Mine was worse.
Yeah.
Here's why.
Yeah, you know? And then,
it's like, all right, you could take it. It's fine.
And then when people like, I don't know. I think one of the rudest cutoffs I always hear is like, and I don't know if it's just like,
anyways.
Anyways is so fucking annoying.
Anyways,
it's just like, all right, you say what you had to say. Anyways,
no, when I say anyways, I'm usually cutting myself off because I've gone off tangent. I was like, anyway, what I was.
Well, that, I mean, obviously that makes sense. But when you're having a conversation with someone, and say it's you and I, right? We're having this conversation. And while I'm saying what I'm saying, and then you out of nowhere say to me, anyways, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, you're pretty much saying what you have to say is not important.
Yeah.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to my woes. Listen to my cries. This is like, all right, well, fuck what the fuck I'm going through today. Like, you know what I mean? It's, I can't stand that shit. The audacity of motherfuckers.
Audacity of people. And another thing, well, the audacity of people. We were talking about what? Cars and all this stuff. I feel like when you drive, like, I feel like the same rules apply for when you drive a fucking cart at a store.
Oh, you know what's so annoying?
Oh my God, I can't stand it.
When people are like I get, you're looking around, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck do you feel the need to stop right in the middle of everything? And then if someone is like, oh, excuse me, you move your body, but your cart's still in the fucking middle.
Way. Yeah. I have a ritual every weekend on either Saturday or Sunday. I go to the store. My question is, first of all, why do some people have to bring their entire family? I don't understand why you have to bring all 4 kids and your husband. Or
like one of you motherfuckers stay home
one
with
of
these
you
kids.
could have just come and just done this shit by yourself. I don't know why you have to have 2 carts and then your husband following behind you like a pendejo, like, I don't know. It's like, no. Next time, just stay in the car. If you have to drive her, stay in the car, give her your card, get them, whatever the fuck, let her get what she needs to get. I cannot stand it. It drives me absolutely insane. And every fucking weekend, there's a husband following a wife and he's just completely lost. Or she leaves him and he's standing in the middle of the aisle and I'm trying to come through where the aisle's wide enough for us to go through together, but you're taking up the entire fucking thing. Or somebody leaves their fucking cart diagonal so that it's cut. There's no way for me to go around, and they left their cart and they went to a completely different section of the store. It's like, what are you doing? I know this isn't your first time shopping. Scoot the fuck over. I want to get my basket and fucking ram it into people. It's just like, I'm in and out of here. I don't want to spend more than a half hour grabbing my shit. Let me into the aisle. I don't know why people just, I'm going to go take a look over here, but I'm going to leave my basket all the way over here and blocking everybody. I honestly don't get it. It bugs the shit out of me. Just like drive. It's like driving. Would you do that with your car?
I wouldn't.
What the fuck?
But so it's kind of like the people that switch lanes, but they take forever to fucking switch lanes. It's like, bro, aren't you technically supposed to switch lanes faster than you drive? Like, if you're gonna switch lanes, you gotta speed it up and switch, not slow down to fucking switch. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
It bugs me.
But I don't know. I don't get. But then people are gonna be like, well, we don't spend time together.
Who the fuck cares? I don't care. Don't use my grocery shopping time for you guys to spend time together. Everybody's there for one reason and one reason only. It's to get groceries and to leave. Not so that you and your husband can play grab my ass, smack my ass while you're walking through the fucking store. I'm here to get some asparagus. Could you scoot over? Thank you.
When did you buy asparagus?
I didn't. I just threw that in there because that's the first thing on my mind.
See, now I want asparagus. Fuck. I want to go by myself because I can't take my wife.
No.
She'll be right in the middle, not knowing what to do.
But the thing is, no. But I even get anxiety taking the kids with me because I'm like, you guys, I'm not here to play. I am here to get in.
So what
out.
you're saying is that's just you.
I think everybody should just be.
No. But you just said I. That's the whole point. It's a you thing.
It should be like a general notion of you're going to the store, get in, get out. Why else are you there? You already should. Do you just go to a grocery store just to? You know what? I'm just going to go to the grocery store to shop around. It's like, no, you do that at the mall.
I don't know why you're looking at me like I'm the one behind it.
I'm so annoyed because men, a lot of
don't say men.
No,
don't do that. Don't generalize men.
Some men at the grocery store are so rude, and I look at them like, are you fucking?
You know why?
Me?
You know why men are rude? Because they have wives at home that don't want them to look or communicate with any type of female.
Wait, I know you ain't fucking putting me in that
No, but
I don't care. If she pays for your groceries, go ahead, flirt.
You got to understand, like, see, again, you're basing things based off of you. We don't have on like that type of relationship where it's just like, you have to follow me everywhere I go. I always tell you, like, look, you're going to go do what you're going to do. If I have time to go do it with you, I'll go. If I don't, I'm not fucking tripping. You can invite me where you're going to go. I'll go if I have time. If I don't have time, I'm going home. I'm not, you know what I mean? But I get it because even at the shop, like, we get families just like, it could be a family of like 5, right? And only the little boy is getting a cut. And he's the only boy in the entire family. But now you have 3 other sisters and the mom and dad. And it's just like bro, you know, and then you got the sisters running back and forth, and then the little boy sitting in the chair and he can't pay attention, or he can't sit still because he's trying to pay attention to what the sister is doing. And it's just like, so I get what you're saying, yes. But you also got to understand, people don't operate the way we do. People don't have a strategic, not everybody, and I'm not going to say people, not everybody has a strategic game plan the way we do. Because even when people are like, oh, what time do you come to work? It's like, I go to work later than everybody else. Well, why? Well, because I don't want to leave my kids with anybody. Yeah. We have a strategy for everything that we do. You can't be pissed at everybody else who doesn't. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing, like,
you're getting upset because
if I see 2 parents together with all 50 of your kids, one of y'all could have stayed home with them. If I see a mother who's by herself, then you know what? Props to you, because I understand you got to do what you got to do. You can't stay home waiting for your husband to get home to go do this, whatever. Good for you. Same with the husband. If you have all your kids, cool. But if there's 2 motherfuckers, You couldn't have stayed in the car with all 30,000 of your children running around touching shit.
They couldn't, because he's probably worse than the kids. So if he would,
please, I can't be without my wife.
no, it's probably like, get your ass off the car. Because last time I walked out in the parking lot, you were probably talking to some other bitch while I was trying to shop. So you never know the situation. Some men can't be left alone. She's probably like, hey, you're coming with me while I go to the store, so you're not in fucking DMs and fucking texting bitches that I don't fucking know. You never know. That's what I'm saying. You don't know the fucking situation. You're getting upset. You're doing exactly what we just said the generation before us does.
Oh shit.
You're getting upset because people don't do things the way you do it.
Because I just want to get my groceries and leave. I just want to get in and out.
Man, the audacity of you to think that everyone needs to think like you. They don't.
Things would run so much smoother if people would just get it together.
Well, yeah, but no one has it together. Nobody.
I don't have it together either. I'm a hot mess.
None of us have it.
But that's one of my pet peeves: the audacity of ruining my shopping. I want to get in and out. I want to leave. But it's funny because you brought up the whole some women can't trust their men, so they have to bring them with them.
Yeah.
There's this girl on TikTok. If I can find her, I'll post her on my Insta. But she does she'll do like these little skits where she acts out both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always that one friend who is like, yeah, we're going to go to dinner, but can you not do your makeup that day? And she's like, well, why not? Well, because Christian's going to be there and I don't need you distracting him. She was like, well,
so she's putting her insecurity on her friend.
Yeah, because I see him staring at you. Well, then that's your man's problem. How is that my fault?
Yeah, first, you stop being insecure, and two, tell him not to have you be insecure. Mm-hmm. I had this discussion with Anita. She's one of the ladies on my Twitch. She's shout out to Alarm. I know she listens to these religiously now.
Oh, thank you.
Because I go to a lot of places and there's a lot of women. And I spend a lot of time with Ricky and Natalie. And even before that, there was Valerie, and I used to do all her photo shoots and shit. Madi. There's an abundance of attractive women that I'm always around. And none of them
more attractive than your wife. No,
there we go. Hey, how you doing? But one of the things I always tell people, because I forgot, someone had asked, they're like, well, how does that work? Does your wife not get jealous? So she probably does. She probably feels insecure. You won't necessarily express it, but one thing I feel like, and I've learned from the past, is to never let you feel like you're less than. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's just I do go do a lot of business and spend time with all these people, but I've learned as time goes by how to balance life a little bit better. Right? Before I wasn't always that great with it, but if I'm going to go do this and that with them, I'm never going to complain about doing something with you.
Yeah.
And if you have a suggestion, it's all right, let's go fucking do it. Let's go. Example, your birthday was 2 weeks ago. We couldn't do what we wanted to do because I had to go take care of gigs. So it's just all right, cool. I'm going to spend this weekend doing what I got to do. But what did you want to do? Let's go to Notch. Let's go do something. Da, da, da. So the following weekend, we go do that. So doing things like that where it's just don't let your significant other, whether male or female, however it goes, right? Because women need to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Don't make your significant other feel less than. Appreciate the shit that they do, because when they step out the door, a lot of the times they're stepping out to provide, right? So that's just what I have to say about that. But you can't be I don't know, how you mentioned before in the last episode where it's oh, she's gonna wear a short bikini. That was retarded. That was dumb.
That
Raymond
was
Andrew.
Dumb of you.
That was dumb Raymond Andrew back in the day.
No, I mean, I've even had a friend of yours say oh, how come you don't go to the shows when Ray used to be rockabilly and shit. His friend was like, oh, you don't ever go to the shows. I was like, because I don't want to. It's not that. I mean, I just didn't, honestly, I'm not going to lie. I didn't want to. I'm more of a homebody sometimes. And especially if I don't know a lot of people there and it's only going to be Ray, I'm like, you go have fun with your friends. I don't want you to feel like you have to take care of me or like, and then I have a look on my face when it's usually just like social anxiety because I don't know anybody but you.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, well, how come you don't go, oh, I wish my wife were more like you. And I'm like, but do you give her a reason?
But so the thing is, he threw that out there. Or like, excuse me. Because when he asked, he did say like, there's women that approach him all the time. And it's just like, yeah, but like you said, I'm not going to give you a reason to have to worry about that.
Well, do you give them the attention that they're searching for, or do you just brush them off? Like that could have been.
If there's like a 20 going into the tip jar, I'll give him a little bit of attention.
No, but I'm saying like to him, like of course they gave him attention.
Obviously, like there's.
But is there a reason that she felt that way, that she has to feel like she has to go?
Well, that goes for anybody, I think. Like, no, one thing. It's like you always said, and my mom used to always tell me, women know. Like, when it's your significant other, there's intuition, and women know, right?